Okay, so just just had to do a little pitch for the string shapes. You can use them individually. You do a substitution. To the fourth, you're going to substitute this guy. You're going to take this guy now, and you're going to put him here. This is just individual string shape substitution. Right there. That's how you do an individual string shape substitution. Now you're at the fourth of that A, and if you want to play that minor, it would be root 3/6 from there. You'd only play the 3 there, okay? And remember, that 3 was originally the 6th, all right? So that's how that works. Let's look at, so we have this. While we're talking about patterns here, we want to just do a little bit of the moving up and down of the patterns here. This often works, well with to learn something. So this is our bottom string here. Okay, it's not straight, but we'll make it. That's our bottom string there. It's being played. It's vibrating. It's doing something. In C, remember, to go to the fourth, we would move the pattern up, or we're simply going to the string shape below it. To go to the fifth, we move the pattern down, or we're simply going to the string shape above it. And remember, to go, if you're on a C like this, the string shape below it is actually the fifth string, or four strings above it, right? So if you're on C here, okay, and you want to know the string below it, just go to the top string, which is the same string shape, and then use that string shape below it. So it would be the E there. You replace it for the fourth. Okay, that's how that works. And same thing with all of them. With G, okay, if you want to go to its fourth, you go the fourth of G is C, usually. Okay, but sometimes it could be that root chord we made. All right, and then the fifth, you just go down, the second string becomes the first string. Why do we do this? Why do we do these substitutions? Because when we want to go to the, let's look at the key of C. Here's the key of C. Here's the pentatonic scale of shapes for all 5 Ks, C, A, G, E, D, okay? Here's its 6 minor, A minor, and this I just put in, doesn't fit into the other two, the fourth or the fifth, but I just put in so we could get the root 3/5 major of that C. I didn't do the root 3/5 majors of the subs, or I'd have so many fretboards. I've got charts that have everything, and believe me, when you have everything, it's like looking at a map. It's no fun unless you zoom in and find out where you really want to be. So we're not showing the fourth triad, but remember, the fourth triad shape is part of, so here's the E shape is part of that pentatonic. So here's your E shape, root 4/6, like that. So the purpose of this chart is to show that we can go to the fourth, and this is the old numbers, but the colors will tell you what the chord shape is, and dealing with familiar chord shapes is what it's about. From the top part of the chart, okay, we're at the familiar chord shapes now. It's easy with C, D minor, E major shaped fourth, G shaped fifth, A minor. But when you go to the other shapes, then you have to, you have to deal with cage. So now it's E, G minor, A minor, C. But remember, it follows a pentatonic scale, more or less. E, G, A, and this is A, and one's just part of the box. It's just a half step below it and minored. Then C, D, E. Okay, starting in the A box, we have A, C, D, 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 E, G, A. Okay, so it works for all of the shapes as we go around. You have to know all of the shapes. Okay, so before we finish today, we've had kind of like a rough go of it. I think I got into a little friction because I've got some issues I'm working on. Do I say what I want to say? And people limiting me to, like, 5 minutes at these meetings I go to. And that's kind of, a different challenge. It's a different challenge to somehow not delve in too deep. But here we want to dig in. We want to make it clear, that our purpose is to cover all situations. So let's just spend a little bit of time in the sub-fifth. All right, so we haven't gotten down the runway very much. Here's like C, A, G, E, and D shapes right here. Okay, so the fifth, of course, the pentatonic. So C box, pentatonic of the fifth is, that's our G. Okay, now the minor of that G, remember what I said we could do? We could just drop it down and play a G minor shaped E minor. So here's our G major shape, but this is the fifth. Oh, we're not going to drop the fifth down, sorry. That's only for the fourth. It's only for the fourth. So this is the fifth. So to do the minor shape of the fifth, as you know, what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead one cage letter. We're in the G shape. We're going to go ahead one cage letter to the E minor shape. It's an easy adjustment, just right here. So it's going to be that E minor shape. Obviously, it's right there. So here I played the pentatonic for us. Here's your G chord. It's root, like here we'll zoom in a little bit. We've got the 5, 7, and then the 2 and the 5 and the 7 and just the 5 up there being in the root numbers. So fifth is G, here's our root. But if we look at it as a temporary key, okay, sure, we know we're in the key of C. Okay, we're in that, but we're going to treat this as a temporary root instead of the C. I know it sounds nice. And why are we doing that? So we can just play root 3, 6 to get that E minor shape. Here, individual string shape focus. G is just 6 root as usual. Minor is always root 3, 6 in the root or temporary root. And D is going to be just the 3. A is going to be just the 6. Okay, E is going to be just the root. Now, if we're not on the capo, the 7 would be there, okay, for that G shape, but we're not doing a real key of D, so I didn't have to show this 7 here. So we got the root, and then we have the, so we wouldn't be concerned with that 7. Now let me tell you something, okay, the 7th of G is F sharp. We would not be playing it in the root key of C either, so it doesn't happen to be one of those keys, one of the notes that we could play, such as the root. Okay, so the root is the fourth of, okay, this root is the G. See how it's the G string root? But the fourth of that happens to be the leading tone, happens to be the fourth of the C, rather. Happens to be, okay, so this happens to be the root of the original chord. Hey, we're out of time. Check the link below for the Facebook group instructions. And it's been a good lesson. We'll see you next time. It's been a great lesson.